Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay. So what we do is we will study the sutta and then we will see how much we can take the information from the sutta and do some practice. But later the part two will be we will do our own individual practice. Okay. Right. So we are still on the Satipatthana Sutta and we are on the Kaya Nupassana. Okay. Now actually today is only two of them, very short. The sutta actually is it has a we already start with the from the beginning. This is the whole translation by the Gnanasattera in the Access to Insight. Okay, so we finished the reading meditation. The second part is on the posture of the body, where the meditator should aware of going, sitting, standing, lying down, and then also clear comprehension. Whatever he do, eating, drinking, sitting, walking, keeping silent, he should do. Okay. And at the end will be always this vipassana contemplation. Thus, he lives contemplating the body and so on. Okay. So here is actually same with this one, but it actually is not shown in the paragraph here because this Pali translated to English is existed in all part of the different section in the Kayanupassana, right? So today we will study this repulsiveness of the body, which is actually 32 body parts. And material elements is the four great elements. Right. So for this, I will invite some to read. Thomas, can you read this one?
Yes, the reflection on the repulsiveness of the body. And further, a monk reflects on this very body enveloped by the skin and full of manifold impurity, from the soles up and from the top of the head hairs down, thinking thus. There are in this body hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, marrow, kidney, heart, liver, midriff, spleen, lungs, intestines, mesentery, gorge, feces, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, grease, saliva, nasal mucus, synovial fluid, urine. Just as if there were a double-mouthed provision bag full of various kinds of grain, such as hill paddy, green gram, cowpeas, sesamum, and husked rice, and the man with sound eyes, having opened that bag, were to take stock to the contents, thus: this is hill paddy, this is paddy, this is green gram, this is cowpea, this is sesamum, this is husked rice. Just so, monks, a monk reflects on this very body, enveloped by the skin and full of manifold impurity, from the soles up and from the top of the head hairs down, thinking thus. There are in this body hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, marrow, kidney, heart, liver, midriff, spleen, lungs, intestines, mesentery, gorge, feces, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, grease, saliva, nasal mucus, synovial fluid, urine. Thus he
Okay,
lives, contemplating the body in the body.
okay, thank you. Now from this reading, what do you think that you were aware of, Thomas?
Sorry, once more.
What do you think you will be getting some information. What kind of information can you get from here?
I can get the information about the meditation objects, which is the various kinds of the body, and they
Mm.
are to contemplate in order to see the repulsiveness of the body.
Okay, okay. Thank you. All right. So yeah. So this is the items. Okay, the 32 body parts. So actually we should see from this one, all right? From the top from the soles up means from below and down from the from the on the top of the head hair and below means that the whole body covered by skin full of manifold impurity. Actually, you should say this is the key point because all this, even you, of course, we cannot see because they are inside our body. But if you take out of them, you should see they are full of impurity. So I think you all know this book, right? So some of you might come across this book. It's actually done for the purpose of contemplation. 32 body parts in 16 languages. Right. So yeah. Okay, by Dhammajata. Right. So you can see all these. So far, what we can see with our physical eye is kesa, head hair. All right. So you can see our hair, but when you come closer, it have the shape like this. All right. And then loma, body hair. So when you come closer, it doesn't look nice. All right. It's coming from here. Okay. And nail. Okay, this is the one. Right. Of course, you don't paint with color. Once you paint with color, you cannot see the impurity. Okay. Teeth, danta. So this one, two, three, four, and the tacho, number five, skin. Right. Only these five we can see with our physical eyes. Right. Then the rest, okay. So only head hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin. This one we can see with physical eyes because they are considered as external on the top of body. Then the rest are inside the body. All this we cannot see. Okay. So then mamsa, fresh, naru, sinew, white color. Yeah, it's a white color and so on. Ati, bones. Okay. We also cannot see the bone, but of course we can feel the bone. Ati minja, right? Bone marrow. So it's inside, somewhere near the bone. Wakam, kidney, right? It's not very big, just a very small, can be taken by hand. So a little bit purple color. Hadaya, heart. All right, you can see the heart is the color. When you take out, it actually look very gruesome. So that's why the Buddha say, 32 body parts is full of impurity, manifold impurity. Okay, yakanam, liver. Right, so it's this also little bit purple color, but it's big compared to kidney just now. Kilomakam, right? Membrane, a little bit white color here. Pipakam, spleen, and so on. Right, so this one, later I'll share this book to you. You all can look at yourself. So up to here, we last time in the Visuddhimagga class, we said all these 20 of them are under the Patawi, okay? So 20 of them is under the earth element. Then the rest 12 is under the water element. So remember in the Visuddhimagga class, we already go through here. So for the water element, which we cannot, it's not solid, all right? So like this phlegm, right? Phlegm is not solid. Poop ball, pus, not solid also. Lohita, blood, like sweat, meadow, grease, and so on. Okay, right. So we have 20 considered earth element because they are solid, and 12 of water element, which is not solid. Okay. So it's important according to this sutta, see them as uh, full of manifold impurity. But this sutta does not give us any information, just tell us that there are 32 body parts objects here, like Thomas say, is taken as an impurity. And the simile is somebody with good eyes who open up a bag and he can see various type of grain like this, right? And then after that, thus he contemplate the body in a body. So this sutta actually very, very short. Okay. So there's another. Okay. Now let's open another similar sutta. So in the sutta center, there's a uh, Pali and English together, right? Now, according to the original Pali chanting like just now, okay, you see the English here, and this is a Pali. Actually, here it didn't mention about the brain, mata lukam, okay? It doesn't mention. So if we calculate, it's only 19. So, but mata lukam should be put under same with the direction with the, okay, with this earth element. Okay. So that's why I put the under the earth element because last time somebody asked me, why is it I don't put after the mutam, the urine? Okay. Because the reason is we can divide it into 20 earth and 12 water element. Okay. So when we analyze the body also didn't seems to be any extra information about how should we meditate. It just say uh covered by the skin and from the top of the feet down from the hair and then the cover by skin full of asuchino, right? Suci actually is a Malay word purity. So asuci is impurity. So we can see this is actually to do with Malay words also. But it didn't tell us how to meditate. All right. Now let's read the commentary. Okay, this commentary. Okay, okay, I have to take from the other. Hmm. Yeah, I was opening few document today. Okay, let's look for the commentary in this. Okay, same with this one. Okay. Now, this is the commentary, Satipatthana Sutta and commentary by Somathera, 1998, a message by Bhikkhu Bodhi, who's a great translator of many Nikaya book. And we already go through some last week, and we go for this section of reflection of repulsiveness. Okay, so we have to also remember in the Visuddhimagga, which I conducted in the last session before I go to Malaysia. So there are a lot of information explained in the Visuddhimagga and the commentary, the Paramata Manjusa, right? So here actually in the Satipatthana Sutta, it's just a very brief explanation. So if we look at the Visuddhimagga, there's lots of information there. And what's the advantage of doing this one, right? This is the advantage. You have the samvega, moral, emotional upsurge, means that we call it spiritual urgency. And then based on effort, there's a great tranquility and obscurity, great mindfulness, clear comprehension, attaining the insight knowledge, jnana dasana. Happy living here and now, ditta dhamma sukha vihara. And then able to attain the fruition of wisdom and freedom. And also in Visumaga, we already learned about 7 skills, which I will not repeat here because this is actually already I explained the Visumaga class. Okay, all these recite verbally, mentally, and see according to color, shape, direction, and then the place of it, and then by way of similarity, dissimilarity, and so on. And then how you do it, you take the body part one by one, not too fast, not too slow. Uh, let go the mental rambling means the mental distraction and so on. Okay, and the simile is mentioned here. Okay, so it actually didn't give much explanation at all. But if we contemplate by the this kind of charts, I think it will be easy because it already like this kind of charts they tell us the color, the shape, like this, what is the color, what is the shape, what is the location we can see, like Chavi and so on. So if with the diagram here will be useful. Of course, if we can go for where we can see a physical decomposed corpse, we can see it might be much more easier to have a samvega. If we just see a picture like this, it doesn't look so gruesome. Last time I also play some video that you all show already see how the operation was done by cutting, opening out the body and so on, which is I think more effective if you see the video rather than see the diagram here. But this method, 32 body parts, which I would say that most of us will not practice and it's difficult to get we use the word fresh material, because it's not something that you can get very fast. Okay, so where is it? Okay. So this is just like what we see. And in brief, if we look at the 32 body part, you can just see what is earth element and water element. So if we are going to meditating on the earth or water element, it must be much more helpful rather than go individual, like head hair, body hair, nail, and so on. Look for the each color, each location, each direction, similarity, dissimilarity. So I think this one is not so helpful for most meditator. This one we already go through last time, all right? So if you want, I can share the notes to you again, all right? So what we going to do is, today we are going to focus on the other one. Okay, all right. So if no question, I'll continue with the next one, right? Okay, now this one I think is we can practice 4 great elements. Somebody please read this one. Yeah, where is it? The cursor moving around. What happened? Yeah, sorry, I seems to open few things. Not this one. Okay, okay. Before that, okay, let's go for the commentary. Okay, the commentary also didn't say much. Okay, right, wait. So, okay, okay. So somebody read this one. Next student, Puedu, can you read this one? Puedu.
Okay, okay, Sarajit.
Yeah.
Okay. The reflection on the material elements. And further monks, a monk reflects on this very body, however it be placed or disposed, by way of the material elements. There are in this body the element of earth, the element of water, the element of fire, the element of wind. Just as if monks, a clever cow butcher or his apprentice, having slaughtered a cow and divided it into portions, should be sitting at the junction of 4 high roads. In the same way, a monk reflects on this very body as it is placed or disposed by way of the material elements. There are in this body the elements of earth, water, fire, and wind. Thus he lives contemplating the body in the body.
Okay, thank you. All right. Now we see the commentary. Right. The commentary give more explanation for this one. All right. Okay. I need somebody to read this one. Chai Hun, you can read this one. This is the commentary.
The master, having explained body contemplation in the form of reflection on the repulsiveness of the 32 parts of the body, said, and further, now to set forth the body contemplation by way of reflection on the modes or elements of materiality. The elaboration of the meaning together with the application of the simile in this connection is as follows. Just as if some cow butcher or a cow butcher's apprentice, a man who works for his keep, having killed a cow and make it into parts, was sitting at the four crossroads, just so a bhikkhu reflects, by way of the modes, on the body in any one of the four postures. Thus, there are in this body the modes of extension, cohesion, caloricity, and oscillation. The cow butcher does not get rid of the cow percept while feeding the cow, driving it to the place of slaughter, tying it and putting it up there, killing it, and even when seeing the dead carcass of the cow, not until he cuts it up and divides it into parts. Does the perception of a cow disappear. To that butcher sitting with the meat before him, after cutting up the cow, however, the perception of a cow disappears, and the perception of flesh comes into being. To him, there's not this thought, I'm selling this cow, I'm selling the cow. These people are taking away the cow, but to him, indeed, there occurs this thought, I'm selling flesh. These people indeed are taking away flesh. To the bhikkhu, similarly, the perception of a being or the perception of a person does not disappear as long as he does not reflect by way of the modes of materiality. In this body, as it is placed or disposed in whatsoever position, after shifting thoroughly the apparently compact aggregation, to him who reflects by way of modes of materiality, however, the perception of a being disappears. The mind gets established by way of the modes of materiality. Therefore, the Blessed One declared, a bhikkhu reflects on just this body according as it is placed or disposed by way of the mode of materiality, thinking thus, they are in this body the mode of solidity, the mode of cohesion, the mode of caloricity, and the mode of oscillation, O bhikkhus. In whatever manner a clever cow butcher or a cow butcher's apprentice, having slaughtered a cow and divided it by way of portions, should be sitting at the junction of a crossroad. In the same manner, a bhikkhu reflects, thinking thus, they are in this body the mode of solidity and the mode of oscillation. Imang mewa kayang yata titang yata panihitang
Okay.
ta.
Okay, enough. All right. Anyway, the sutta give say these four great elements here: earth, water, fire, and wind. All right, in the body. Now the simile is given here. It's very short here. So it's like, okay, first you got somebody who has a cow. Then after that he killed the cow, divide to portion, right? Then he sit in a junction of four high rods. So why he had to kill the cow, right? It's already mentioned. So like this, at first, so he does not get rid of the cow perception, right? So because at first he has the cow, so he feed the cow, he drive the cow to the place slaughter, tie it and put it here. He still had the idea, it's a cow, and I have a cow, I'm feeding the cow, I'm going to kill the cow, right? Even he see the dead body, dead carcass of the cow, he still have the idea, the cow is there, there's the idea of cow, right? So there's a cow perception. But when he cut it off, divide into parts, right? When it's like when you see the big cow, you see the cow. But when you cut it off, you divide into many parts, then the perception of cow will disappear at this time. All right. So the perception of cows, then if somebody is coming to him, they want to buy, he will not think that I'm selling a cow. The people are taking away a cow, but he was thinking I'm selling a fresh, I'm selling the bones, I'm selling the kidney or whatever, the body parts. He will not say I'm selling the cow. Okay, so this is a cow simile. That's why it's using the Buddha is telling us. Right? That's why the Buddha is very skillful of using the appropriate simile. So also to a bhikkhu, bhikkhu here means any bhikkhu, monks, or also because when Buddha give Dhamma talk, also other meditator also. So when we are meditating, we have the perception of beings, self, I, right? It will not disappear, okay? But you, as long as he does not reflect, right? So when we reflect by the modes of materiality, means when we contemplate in the four great elements, then the perception of beings means that we don't think about I or me anymore. We just aware of four great elements. Okay. So that's why the Buddha say the however it placed, we should reflect this body in which position and in which manner in this mode of four great materials, four great elements. So solidity is the earth, cohesion is water, this is the fire, and this is the wind oscillation, right? So that's the purpose of doing the four great elements with this simile of the cow. All right. And the yogi is compared with the cow butcher. So you had to cut, in a way, you say you had to cut your body until you lost the idea of the cow. Okay. Then the fourfold posture, sitting, walking, standing, lying down, is the crossroad. Right. So that's the reason here. And the rest will be these contemplate body and so on insane. Okay. Right. So in brief, this is the idea of the sutta, means that you should reflect the body and you cut it uh with your knowledge. So until just like the cow, he will lose the cow perception. So we have to divide our body into four great elements until we lost the perception of my body or beings. Okay. Now how, but here does not tell us how to meditate. You can see, even we read the commentary, also didn't tell us how to meditate. So we have to look for another book, this Four Foundation of Mindfulness by Sayadaw U Silananda. This is the 32 body parts. I'll skip it because I already mentioned the Visuddhimagga. So, okay. Okay, now, all right. Now, what is earth element? All right. Now, earth element, it does not mean the earth we know. It means something inherent in the earth, the state of being the earth, the quality of stiffness, hardness, softness. So when we contemplate in the body, we are not contemplate earth element. We are contemplate the characteristic of the earth element, right? Hardness, stiffness, hardness, softness are the earth element. So when you touch the water, all right, even the water have the softness. Softness is a earth element. When the wind blow on your face, you feel the hardness of softness, right? So there's a earth element. Now, what is a water element? Water element, we are contemplate not just water, but its characteristic, trickling or cohesion. Okay, so now the book is actually tell us how to meditate here, which I will share with the Chinese group already. Now here is, we can look for this six pair. So we call it trickling. Earth element, you should contemplate we call it the characteristic, all right? This is a 12 characteristic. When you meditate on four great elements, you're supposed to contemplate on 12 characteristic. So the characteristic of the earth is like hardness, softness. Like just I mentioned, when the wind blow at your face, sometimes you feel softness, sometimes you feel hardness. So there's a smoothness and roughness. And then when you sit for a long time, you feel the body very heavy, or when you got good samadhi, you feel the body light. So we should see this earth characteristic in our body. And for water is flowing, tickling, or stickiness or cohesion. So we should see this when you feel your body is very sweaty, it's a stickiness due to water. Or when you sweat is a trickling, a flowing. So this is a characteristic that we should contemplate. Because just now when we read the sutta, we didn't see how to meditate. Now, Sayadaw U Silananda tell us how to meditate. Okay, so water element is something that trickling and cohesion, right? There's a cohesion in everything, even in the earth, wood, bricks. Cohesion means something holds things together. So it's one of the characteristics of the water element. Its function intensify and so on. Right. Okay. So basically you should see the trickling or cohesion. Now how about fire? Right. When we contemplate the fire elements, we are not just contemplate the fire burning, we are contemplate the state of being the fire, quality of fire. There's heat. And when you have heat, you also have cold. So heat, cold, and all temperature is the characteristic of fire element. When you feel hot or cold, you feel the fire element. And when the body becomes mature, when it ages, this is the works of the fire element, right? So we should see how the hot and cold, when in your stomach, your food is being digested, so there's a fire element there. So when you feel warm in the body, when you have sick, you have temperature, right? So when you're getting older, so it's also due to the fire element. When you high fever, this is also excessive body heat. So we have digestive heat, everything you eat, drunk, chew, swallow, or is digested, right? Then the last one is wind of air element. It's a characteristic expansion, expanding, distension. When you blow air into balloon, it becomes extended. The fact you can sit or stand and do not fall down is the work of air element, which support you from all sides. Its function is to cause motion. When you move, your motion are caused by the air elements, right? And there are 6 of them here. Upgoing, which cause vomit, hiccups, downgoing, carry feces and urine out the body, wind in the belly, outside the bowels, wind in the bowels, all right? So we have something that when we achoo or hiccup, so the wind come out. So when we pushing urinate, so it's the wind is pushing down. So the wind inside our belly. So especially when you're hungry, you can hear the wind cuckoo cuckoo sound. So the wind in the bowel that push the old food, right? The digested food. And you have the breathing meditation, which is actually considered is also wind element. So you also have number 6 is the movement in the body. When you walk, stretch, or bend, is caused by the intentional or consciousness, right? Okay, so this means that we are contemplating the characteristic of hot and cold, fire, and then wind is that cause the movement and supporting. Like when you can sit straight or when you are doing walking meditation or standing meditation, you have the wind that can supporting your body. This wind actually is caused by our intention or our consciousness. Because the moment when people feel fainted or they lost consciousness, they will fall down. Why? Because they don't have this wind that support the body anymore, right? So that's how we should contemplate the 12, we call it the 12 characteristic in the, this is a 4 great elements. So sometimes we call it the materiality meditation. Okay, so we call it material. So all this you should see, okay? So what's the advantage of seeing this, right? This one I mentioned just already. Advantage is that you can contemplate the 4 great elements, easy to find, easy to contemplate, And you can practice any place, anytime, when you walk, sit, lying down, or standing. Okay, any position is okay. But the disadvantage is that it cannot lead to the deep jhana. It only lead to excess concentration. Excess concentration means that it is just before the jhana. We call it neighborhood concentration, right? So, and this is also good to practice because you don't need to purposely choose the object. Why? Because since we have 12 of them, any of them will appear when you are doing sitting meditation or walking meditation. So it's very easy to find them. And also one thing about that is interesting because if you are doing the breathing meditation only, when you are doing breathing meditation, it's only on this movement. So after you see the breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, you feel bored because it's only one kind only. But here we had 12 kinds, 12 of them. So it's very interesting for people who want to do this 4 great elements meditation. All right. And there are 2 methods here. You can look for it or search for it. Okay. What's the meaning of look for it, search for it? This means that, for example, you want to, the first easy one will be like hardness. So you just look all over your body for the hardness, or softness, or heaviness. This means that you purposely look for it. That's one way. Another way is you just wait for it. Oh, these 12 characteristics, one of them will come. So either one is okay, right? So this means that from the sutta just now, we only see it's talking about the sutta actually didn't tell us. It's only tell us there are 4 great elements, and we should. The purpose of this practice is to lose the perception of being or I. Just like a cow butcher, he will lose the perception of the cow. So that's the purpose here. And for the actual practice, the Sayadaw U Silana book has some. Okay, now this is good to read how you do in uh walking meditation. Okay, so somebody please read. Next person. Marinda, can you read this one?
Okay. Okay, thank you, Saiji. It is the air element that causes movements in the body. When you walk or stretch or bend, the element of air is working, caused by your intention or consciousness. Meditators contemplate these 4 elements during their practice. Let us now see how you can observe these 4 elements when you are walking. When you walk, first you lift your foot. The upward movement manifests the lightness in the foot. That lightness is caused by the fire element. When you raise your foot, there is movement. That movement is caused by air element. When you push your foot forward, this movement is also caused by the air element. When you put your foot down, it becomes heavier, which indicates the presence of the water element. When you touch the ground or the floor with your foot, cannot see, you feel hardness or softness both in the floor and in the foot. That hardness or softness is the characteristics of the earth element. In making one step, you can distinguish these 4 elements. In lifting the foot, the fire and the air elements are evident. In pushing the foot forward, you recognize the air element. In putting the foot down, the water elements. And in touching the ground or the floor, the earth element. Thus, meditators observe the 4 elements that are present in a single step, although at first they may not notice the presence of all 4 elements. When meditators see the elements clearly, they lose the concept of a being. They see now that there are just these 4 elements going, 4 elements standing, and so on. When you see only these 4 elements going and so on, you cannot see a person and lose the concept of a being. The observation of the 4 elements is explained in the sutta with a simile. The commentary explains it as follows. When the butcher is feeding a cow or is nourishing it and then takes it to the slaughtering place, ties it to a post and kills it, he still has the notion there is a being, a cow. If someone will ask him what he is doing, he will say, I'm feeding the cow or I'm killing the cow. Even after having killed it, before he cuts it up into pieces, he still maintains the notion that it is a cow. But when after cutting the slaughtered cow into pieces, he takes and put the pieces on the table at the crossroad. From that point on, he will not say, I'm selling a cow. So after cutting the cow into pieces, he loses the concept of a cow. In the same way, when meditators cut themselves into 4 elements, whatever they have, whatever is in their body, is just 4 elements. Then they will lose the concept of a being, a person. This meditation was taught by the Buddha to eliminate the concept of there is a being. The simile given above should not lead to the conclusion that meditators must conceptualize the elements. The elements taught in Buddhism are in fact not concepts, but a part of what is called ultimate reality, which consists of consciousness, mental factors, matter, and dhyana. They are considered to be the real things in contrast to things in conventional reality.
Okay.
Meditators.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
you.
Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay. Okay. Now what we say that first we should see here is how we doing the walking meditation. So when you leave the foot, you will see sometimes light, sometimes you see heavy. But when you push it, then it's the A. A means wind element. So when you put the foot down, then it become more heavy. So when you touch the ground, so you feel hardness and softness. Okay. So that means that we can see all this in our walking meditation. So as you see, because sometimes people feel light. For example, when you lift the foot, it's supposed to be light. But sometimes people feel heavy because you spend more energy lift the foot up. But when you put the foot down, it's said to be heavy here. All right. Heavy also considered as water element because water element is heavy, right? So you should see them as they are. So it's important, like I mentioned just now, in any posture, standing, walking posture, like he's slaughtered at the 4 junction place, 4 position, to lose the perception of a being, just like a cow butcher when he still not cut off the cow, he has the idea of cow. But when he cut off and into divide into many parts like bones, flesh, and so on, then he lost the perception of cow. So meditators should cut themselves into 4 elements, right? Whatever in the body, even like your head hair, body hair, you should cut into the earth element. Your blood, sweat, all these are water element. Then the purpose is to lose the concept of being, person, I or self. Okay, so this is not a conceptualize the elements. What we say, these 4 great elements, we are actually not going to say we are going to see what is earth, water. What we see, the characteristic. The characteristic here means the state of things, like the state of earth, the state of water, the state of fire, the state of wind. So we are trying to see these 4 great elements. So all these are belong to 28 rupa. All right. Now, how are we going to meditate? Right? There are 2 methods there, like we say. First, you can look for it if you want. Let's say if you feel that you are not so skillful in these 4 great elements, you can purposely do one by one. Out of these 12, you choose which one you find easier. For most people, they will choose heavy. Heaviness is easy. Of some, they see hardness. All right. So you choose one by one, you do it yourself, or you let it come. Okay, when you sit for a long time, you feel your body is very hot. You sit for a long time, you feel very sweaty. So you just know sweat, hot. And after you know the characteristic, what you should do is try to see the changes, okay? Because it will not last long, because of anicca. So first you look for it. After that, what happened? No, then the next step is see the changes, all right? Like for example, hardness may change to become more soft. So sometimes your body soft, then it become hard, right? So sometimes you feel hot, then your hot become maybe more hot. Then more hot become maybe hot. Then hot become more cool. So we should see the changes. The moment you see more changes, then you lost the perception of this I or being that in control. All right. Because when we see these four great elements, we understand that these are just they work, they appear by themselves. There's no I or me that control all these four great elements. So uh, uh, okay, so number third advantage is that very interesting. There's 12 characteristic that we can contemplate. And then number four is can see anatta, non-self. That's mean that true, uncontrollable, and no one is in charge. All right. So how you know is uncontrollable? Because after you see these four great elements and uh you see things keep on changing all the time. And then you understand that nobody in charge. All these are just phenomena, things appear, disappear, changes here and there, here and there. Okay. All right. Any question? If not, we will start meditation. Next week, we also do some four great elements. Any question?
Sayaji, I just want to clarify. Contemplating body in the body is it
Yeah,
means
yeah.
the 32 parts in the body, is it?
The terms this okay now okay yeah this term. So we look at this term already. Okay. Thus he lives contemplating the body in the body internally, or he lives contemplate the body in the body externally, or he lives contemplating the body internally and externally, right? So this part means that you see the body as the body. That's one thing, not my body.
See the
That's one thing.
body.
Okay, you see the body in the body, not my body, not his body, not other person body. Okay, so let me key here. Right, so it means that see the body as the body. Okay, not my body. Okay, not someone body. This means that you don't cling to it. Okay. No, this means that not with attachment. Because when we see with the body as my body, this means that you have attachment, right? So if you see the body as the body is you see without attachment. And also another thing